Hello everyone. I'm back with another live base building video, and this time it's going to be the post zap update. So I'll be taking into consideration the zap radius and where to place my values so that zap does not destroy my base instantly. And just like before, I'm gonna start with I'm gonna use the same idea of kind of angled values like that. And this time, actually, I'm going to do a big brain move, and I'm going to pretend to bait a queen charge, but actually have that be the back end because I expect attackers to think that it's a bait. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have an oops. Gonna have an Inferno here, not like that because that's walkable. Like that. And that is still walkable. I'm bad. There we go. Something like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to technically make this Inferno walkable. Something like that. And the attacker will think, or he'll see this place and he'll think, oh, that's probably a bait. That means I won't attack from here. And the reason they think it's a bait, it's because I'm going to have stuff like these, unreachable air defenses, where the queen can't hit it, but this can hit the healers really easily. And I'm going to have a lot of values around this area that they can possibly grab, but I'm expecting the attacker to think that this is a bait. So I'm actually going to trap the hell out of this area, and this is a fake bait. It's a big brain move right here. Alright, so I'm going to start with this Inferno comp here. So I'm going to have an air defense here, an expo here, something like that. And I'm going to expand this way. So this is going to be the outside of the base over here. This is where I'm going to expand into. And then I'm going to make the comps on the side. And obviously I want to make this air defense unwalkable, otherwise this whole plan just doesn't work. So something like that, where because of how this is set up, the attacker cannot hit the air defense from here. So like that. And I'm also going to have another comp here. And then from here I'm going to add my eagle, so that the reason I didn't add my eagle in here is because then in this comp you would be able to reach the Inferno and the eagle here. So I made two comps instead. So I'm going to put my eagle somewhere here. And then keeping in mind of the zap radius, I'm not going to put my CC here or here, anywhere that can be zapped with the eagle. So I'm going to put my CC here. And this is, in a way, almost kind of baiting the queen charge from this section, because then they'll think, hey, I can grab the Inferno and the CC. And that's actually not too bad of a queen charge. And then I'm going to have my expo farm. I'm going to start setting up my expo farm a little bit. Maybe something like this. Yeah. And I'm going to have this one set to ground and this one set to ground as well. And I'll explain more about why I set these to ground later, and or not any of these. But for now, I'm just going to do this. And then now I'm going to work on my little Inferno, or my eagle area. Definitely don't want this to be walkable, because then that kind of ruins the whole point of the base. Something like that. Yeah. Okay. And now I kind of want to add my other Inferno in. Nothing fancy, just a standard Inferno comp. You've probably seen it a lot. These ones kind of work. They work pretty decently against the queen charge, mainly because there's so many layers of comps you have to get through in order to get into the base, actually. The Inferno itself isn't too hard to get, but getting any more values past that would be a pain, because obviously I have the expo farm here that can stop a queen charge pretty easily. And with this Inferno, it's not walkable from any side, because there's 4 tiles here, 4 tiles here, and 4 tiles here, obviously. And here. And then I'm going to do something like this. And do something like so. Something like that. Alright, and now I kind of want to put my sweepers, because this is kind of the next big zap thing that people are talking about. So I'm going to put one right here. And this is zappable with the CC, of course. But just the CC and a sweeper, I don't think anyone would zap that. I don't think that's good enough value to zap. And I'm going to have my second air defense here. And you might be thinking, why is it so out of the base? And I'll explain what I'm going to do with this sweeper in a bit. But first, let's take a look at the spacing between these two sweepers. There is 4 tiles here and 1 tile this way. And even with just 4 tiles, it's already unzappable. So this prevents both sweepers from being taken down in one zap go, I guess. And now to kind of address this this sweeper, I'm gonna do something similar to this air defense, where I'm gonna have it be unwalkable, so that they can't just easily grab the sweeper, something like that. So now if we take a look at the, we can use kind of the method I showed everyone in the base building server, 1, 2, 3, and then zigzag outwards, and yep, you can see it's unwalkable. So with this, I kind of negate the zap effectiveness, because they can obviously still get the CC and sweeper, but that's just one sweeper. And they can't grab CC plus Eagle, which is pretty big value. And now I want to put my queen, and I think I'm going to put my queen somewhere here, kind of protected by the expo farm. And then after this, I'm going to want to put my other air defenses. So I kind of had these two, and I'm going to make this one unwalkable to a certain degree as well. But for now, I'm going to put my other air defenses. I think I'm going to have one here. No particular reason. It's just not a bad spot. It's unwalkable from most of the sides. And I think I'm gonna have one maybe here. Yeah, that's not too bad. Let's see. Yeah, so now I'm gonna make this air defense unwalkable to a certain degree, obviously. And I'm gonna do something like so. Yeah. Something like that. And that makes it so that if a queen goes around the moat either direction, the air defense will be able to snipe the healers. Let's take a look at the range. Yeah, the air defense will be able to snipe the healers like that. But the queen won't be able to hit the air defense from here. Like that. So this is well enough protected that they have to have a very good funnel for the queen to go in here. And then I'm gonna kind of protect my eagle a bit, because right now it looks really easy to sui. So probably just a standard little moat, nothing major about it. Can't go wrong with a standard moat. And I also want to do a moat here, something like that. And the reason I kind of extend this little moat out by one here is because I'm going to put a wizard tower here, and I kind of want a giant bomb in this section here, right here. So if I didn't extend the moat out, I wouldn't be able to fit that giant bomb in, and I wouldn't have such even heal zones. And I'm going to put my warden here, covers the queen. Doesn't cover the CC, but not the biggest deal. It's usually more important to cover the queen than the CC. And I kind of don't want them charging in from here, so I'm just going to add a moat once again. And I'm getting a little short on walls, but I think I should have enough for the rest of the build. There's not much left I want to do with it. So I have one wall left here. I'm going to just slap it there so they can't wall break that. Let's see. Yeah, so far I'm liking how it looks so far. I can actually open this up, leave that be a moat, or an open moat. I don't know why I connected it in the first place, because I kind of want a wall here, so that a super wall breaker doesn't just break into this section here, and then they can't just jump over this and get so much value. or however they want to do it. I just don't want this section to be wall broken right there. So what this little wall does is it kind of redirects the wall breaker from going into the center and to kind of going into the sides here. And now I'm out of walls, so I'm going to start filling in the rest of the stuff. Next step is wizard towers. Put one by the eagle. I can probably put one down here and one here. That way this one's protected by the inferno and also this inferno. And these two are protected by this inferno. And this one protects the eagle. And this one's kind of here just to force a heal zone on this spot right here. Because I don't really plan to put a bomb tower there. So I kind of want a heal zone right there. I'm going to slap a bomb tower right around here. And maybe one... I might slap one right over here. Something like that. Because I can work with this. I'll have a heal zone here, and then bomb tower going off when the hogs or miners leave the heal zone. We'll definitely force another heal zone here, especially with all the DPS there. So yeah, that's fine, I guess. Not the most optimal bomb tower spot, but with the new Zap meta and how I have to watch out for the values and such, there's not really too much I can do while thinking on the fly, especially when I'm tired. So this is the interesting part I want to talk about. So people will think this part is a queen charge bait, and they won't queen charge this section, which is smart of them, because if they queen charge this section, it's instant death. So what I'm gonna do is actually trap this side pretty heavily. Maybe something like this with a Tesla, so it becomes a diagonal spring section here, and that just destroys hogs. Yeah, so I'm gonna trap this side pretty heavily, and I'm gonna expect them to either queen charge from this section or maybe from here or here, something like that. So I'm gonna expect a queen charge on this side of the base, which means I'm gonna heavily trap this side of the base a lot more. With that said, I'm gonna start filling in some. Oh, I still have a wizard tower. Huh. I'll probably put this here, something like that. So it's also covered by the Inferno Tower. And my splash is relatively well spread out throughout the base. Now I want to put in the storages. I want to put one here because I don't want two tiles or two defensive structures touching like that. And also the storage kind of just protects the wizard tower and air defense a bit more. Probably one here as well. Same idea with this one. Gonna have a storage in the Inferno comp. Storage in front of the Inferno. And then with my elixir storages, probably one right here, maybe one right there. Kind of slow down a queen charge and make it more obnoxious coming in from this side. Want one right here, because I do not want them charging this section. Maybe a storage would make it look a bit more intimidating, especially with the expo farm that will lock on. Maybe one right there. Something like that. Just throwing it out there for now. Now, time for the cannons. I'm gonna put a cannon here. Maybe one right there. I'm gonna move this here towards the air defense so that it's kind of not wasting a spot, because if I put an archer tower there, that kind of negates the effect of the archer tower if there's a hound tanking. Put my archer tower here instead. I like that spot a lot better. Cannon, archer tower. Gonna have a fake giant bomb spot here. And I don't need a giant bomb here because there's a bomb tower that forces a heal already. So I'm fine with that. I'm gonna put my little dark elixir storage here, just to kind of make it seem even more like a bait. Have my geared one here. Add some DPS in this section because the top side right now is a little bit lacking on DPS. Something like that. No, not like that. Like that. And I'm just gonna throw something in there. And then two more cannons. Maybe one right here. Add some DPS up there, and one down here. There we go. Alright, so now we got our cannons out of the way. Time for the archer towers. I already have some spots in for it, so I can just fill those out pretty easily. Archer tower. Maybe one right here. One right here. I kind of just want to space out the archer towers so that there's air coverage throughout every side of the base, so that there's no like free funnels or whatever. Something like that. Put a town hall there. And with this town hall placement, I'm aware that it looks fun to kind of electron blimp from here. I do kind of have a sweeper that somewhat covers it. I might actually move the sweeper to kind of cover even better like that. But even with the sweeper, they can still probably electron this if they try hard enough. So I'm going to have a little... Probably going to have a SAM there. Maybe something like that. Up here so that I can still put the giant bomb in there. And then an air skelly. And that should be well enough for an electron so that the blimp will probably die around this section. E-drag will get stuck on the air skellies, and that's a dead electron. Let's see. Now I can start filling in trash a little bit, maybe. Gonna have my mortar maybe somewhere like here. Something like that. I'm gonna start moving it because I have no space over there. Something like this. And then also move it this way. Let's just fill out our trash real quick. Like that. Put another one. Yeah, that's fine. That works for me. Don't have any issues with that right now. I'll move this out so that's not chainable. Maybe one right there. Something like that. With a there. And I kind of want to use army camps to make funneling hard on spots that I don't want them to come in. So I'm just going to do that. Like that. And then back to my little collectors because they do have a bit more HP. And yeah, I'm just going to fill out the trash room real quick. So give me 1 sec. And with something like this little gap right here, I don't want to put a full 3x3 because that makes this area very easy to chain if someone were to use an E-drag right there. So I'm just going to throw maybe a builder hut right here. And the hut will just die in a single hit so that the drag can't chain too deep into the base too many times. Yeah. So another camp. Something like that. Probably throw a mortar here. Is that protected? It's somewhat protected. That's fine. It's just a mortar. I don't really care about it. As long as it's somewhat protected, it's fine. Filling in my trash ring. That looks fine up there. I think I'm gonna leave that up there for now. Gonna have this here. And then probably something like this here. So that the army camp makes it a bit awkward to funnel again. Maybe on this side. Even though this is probably not the best way to do it, because I don't really have any protection over here, so I'm not really going to put something there. Something like that. Yeah, this. Maybe move these out one so that this isn't too much chain value. I can move this out here. Yeah, that works. And then I'll do something like that. This is awkward. There we go. Actually, I think I'm gonna use a builder hut. Here. You know, this is fine, I think. Yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with that. And then I'm gonna use my last army camp somewhere over here, just because why not? Like that, like so. There we go. That fills out this little gap here perfectly, and it's unchainable from at least from the army camp directly to the air defense. Or not air defense, archer tower. Put something right there. Why do I have that there? Don't need that there. Put builder hut there. And then the rest of my trash can probably go somewhere here. Something like that. And then I have one little thing left. I'm just going to probably throw it here or something. Is that? I'll put it more on this side. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. And I'm going to have actually something here. Kind of protect this area. And with that there, I can actually move something down there. So let's see. I can probably grab something like this and then move it down here, because now I have the Tesla kind of covering it. And I'm gonna have a little spot here where I have a giant bomb, because I don't have a lot of giant bomb spots in the base, in this base at least. I'm gonna have one right here with the wizard tower. Probably gonna have one here, something like that. I've noticed that if you get lucky and the attacker doesn't funnel from these areas, and you can force a heal kind of early on near outside of the base, like somewhere here, that really screws over the attacker, because usually they want to save their heals for inside the base when there's a lot of DPS going on. But having them use their heal on the outside of the base is huge if you can get that. And then one last giant bomb, I'm going to put it here. And now for the SAMs. I want to do my SAMs. Put one right here, because even though this is a kind of queen charge bait, but not really bait, still don't want them queen charging it, so just putting a SAM there, it doesn't really hurt. Put one right here on the air defenses, so that it helps against Lalo. Grabs the hounds when they come around. Put a skelly trap on something like this. And then maybe my tornado trap, I can put it somewhere in the middle, somewhere right here. Maybe over here. Yeah, like that. And yeah, it looks like both Infernos are covering it. There's some heavy DPS on it. So that's not a bad tornado trap spot. Put some red air bombs near it. And now I kind of want the other air bombs to not be in the air defense area, not in the hound pop radius, or in the lines of where the hounds will travel. I kind of don't want it to be on this line, these lines, something like this, where hounds will normally come in from. So I'm going to, let's see, I can probably place one somewhere here. I can place one down here. And then I have one more after that. I'll probably place it here. Yeah, that's not too bad. So I'm going to put one right here. One maybe here. And then one right there. And I like that. And then now, like I said, I'm going to kind of trap this top side of the base, because I kind of expect them to not charge from this top side, because they'll think it's a bait from this whole section over here. So it's kind of a reverse no you 300 IQ move right there. They won't expect it. I'll have some springs right here. I will have a spring right here. And I will put my mini bombs. I kind of like to use my mini bombs still as anti-wall breaker stuff. They work fine as kind of mini giant bombs, but oftentimes not everyone has a super wall breaker. Of course, in friendly challenges, everyone pretty much uses super wall breakers. So don't expect this to kind of help in friendly challenges, but maybe in a random spin, or maybe in a league that doesn't really have the highest caliber of players, they'll still be using regular wall breakers. So with that, this can still definitely help. I expect maybe a charge from this side. Someone could possibly charge from this side. I'm gonna have some small bombs here. Maybe one right here. I like putting them in the little gaps in the moats because it kind of forces the wall breakers in here should they want to break this section open. And also it's kind of hard to trigger this wall breaker in the first place because funneling troops don't really go in there as easily. Queen doesn't really go in there as early, at least. So it really helps catch wall breakers. I have this one over here because it can kind of help catch wall breakers in both directions. Should they try to break here or here, maybe even here if the wall breaker goes like that, if this section's already broken. And then one more small bomb. Where do I want to put this? Maybe somewhere here, up here. I'm gonna have it on both sides again, just because I don't know if the wall breaker will come on this side or go around into the moat. So yeah. And then now I'm gonna explain a little bit about how I think this base will work. So I'm gonna go into photo mode. So I'm gonna cover one more time. This is a queen charge bait that's not really a bait. And the reason that is because I expect the attacker to be not dumb enough to charge this section. And if they don't charge this section, then I have a nasty surprise waiting for them in the form of traps. Because I'm hoping that they'll maybe charge the eagle, maybe charge this inferno, but mainly just hoping they charge from this side for the most part. And the reason I have my expos, these two expos set to ground, like I said before, is because if they charge from this side, pretty soon into the charge, they'll have this air expo locking onto the queen, somewhere around here maybe. And then the moment they kind of step into this area here, they'll have two ground bows locked onto them at the same time. And that's really important to have kind of your DPS go from 0 to 100 in like an instant. Because that really can catch the attacker by surprise. Definitely can force out more rage spells, maybe even a queen ability if they're not prepared for it. And then with the air defense setup, I kind of did it so this one's unwalkable from here. This one is unwalkable from here. This one's unwalkable from this side. And then this one's kind of unwalkable from outside the moat. And let's talk about my heal zones real quick. Kind of have one somewhere here with the wizard tower and the bomb tower here. I have one around here with the wizard tower and giant bomb. I have one here with the wizard tower and giant bomb again. One down here, kind of outside the base, which can be really, really strong if they don't expect it, with the wizard tower and giant bomb. One right here for sure with the the bomb tower, inferno tower, maybe even a bit of the wizard tower there. Definitely one in the middle because of how much DPS there is, with the tornado trap, and then you'll have the inferno towers locking on the expos. And then definitely one right here with the giant bomb and the inferno kind of firing down, and some decent DPS right here. So you can take a look at how the heal zones are set up. Oh, I actually have one here too, kind of outside. This one's more to, this one can really hurt a king funnel as well, but it also hurts hogs and miners should they step into the heal zone. So you can kind of see how the entire base shape is just basically many heal zones that are kind of next to each other, covering the entire base. And then with the zap, you can zap the CC and one sweeper, either there or there, but you can't zap both sweepers. You can't get any air defenses from these zaps. They're all too far away from either the CC or the sweepers. And you can't get the CC and the eagle at the same time, nor can you get an eagle and the sweeper. You might be able to get the CC queen and sweeper, but getting a hero is a bit more difficult just because their hitbox is really small, and they kind of move around a little bit, so it's a bit awkward for them to zap. I personally wouldn't do it, but maybe some really crazy attackers out there do it. No idea. I don't really play with zap too much. I have some SAMs on the air defenses to help with Lalo. And then against Electron, I have the sweeper here, or it's a bit wider, something like that, with the Seeking Air Mine and the Air Skellies to kind of stall the E-Drag and kill the Blimp. Yeah, this is kind of a more unorthodox base because of the walkable Inferno here. But that's kind of playing mind games with the attacker, because a lot of base building is just predicting where your attacker will come, and this is kind of over predicting where the attacker will come by saying, hey, I have a bait set up here, you should attack it. But then the next step further into the thinking is you're not actually going to attack this because you're going to recognize as a bait, and therefore I'm going to trap it very hard because you're not going to attack it and have this be the back end, even though this looks like a baited front end of the attack. Yeah, so that's it. That's my live base building video, number 3, and I'll see you guys next time.